The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. The William Pace Show, asking the questions you want to ask, getting the answers everyone wants to know. It's a new season of the William Pace Show. We're raising the bar with more commitment to educate, inform, encourage, inspire, empower, and help you have your best life. Everyone deserves to have their best life. I'm just staying the course. Here we go. Good evening, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning in to the William Pace Show. Tonight, my guest is Jordan Wortham. He's running for a Montgomery County Commissioner. Thanks so much for being on the program again. Well, I understand you did well in the primary then.
I did. Sure did.
Wonderful. We're going to talk more about that a little bit later on. But first, let's talk about your background and to tell the viewers about that you're a native Daytonian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was born and raised here in West Dayton, son of a Dayton police officer. He served nearly 3 decades. I went to Chaminade Julienne High School. Mm-hmm. And immediately after that, I went to the University of Cincinnati from 2007 to 2011. Graduated there with a bachelor's in communications. Immediately came back home to Dayton, took the police test, became a Dayton police officer. I served for almost 8 years there.
8 years as a police officer.
That's correct.
What made you, what drew you to that?
My father, I idolized my dad, and I saw the public service, and it was a noble profession that I could appreciate in a different lens because my dad was a police officer. So if my dad wasn't a police officer, I probably would never become a police officer.
So that was a big determining factor for you.
It was. It was the influence and the commitment he made and the respect he had within the community is what I wanted to have.
Mm-hmm. And it sort of appears from your family, with your mother being a judge and your father being a police officer, that this was sort of instilled in you.
Yes,
you sort of inherited.
It was based. Yeah, it's in my genes. My dad was a police officer. My nephew was an Alaska State Trooper. My girlfriend's dad was a retired Dayton cop. I have just a bunch of police officers in my family, so it's in my blood.
Wonderful. So, and I understand too that you're somewhat of an entrepreneur.
I am. I started a investment business when I was about 22, and so I've been doing that, investing in security equities and trading security equities. And so now it's going on for my 10th year now, and so I'm a full-time business investor and day trader.
That's wonderful. So, growing up in this land, Montgomery County, in the city of Dayton, you're really familiar with a lot of the problems and the issues that are facing our county, and have, I would think, great insight because you have some base to go back to remember maybe the way things were in the past and where they've gotten to be now and so forth. And we definitely want to talk about that more in the program. Do you think that servant leadership is an important quality in a person running for office?
Yes, I think it's the most important quality. It's the objective. Too many times I think we see in our today's culture where a person is entitled, they believe, to this government position because of their dad or mom, or they're a party favorite, and once they get in the seat, it's almost as it's tying up the seat for employment, for retirement purposes, instead of working really hard to make that job better for the next person.
Well, you know, I've always thought that running for office is a call, number one, and to serve the people. And it's how well you serve the people and how the people respond to you by working on their behalf that will determine your longevity in office. Mm-hmm. It seems today that many people just think they own the seat and they will stay there whether the voters want them there or not, it appears.
And a lot of times the voters don't want them there. People are just apathetic, and a lot of young people my age just don't have the audacity to go out there and run. It's almost a fear of lashing, or scared of what the media will say or what the party would do to me and my family. But me being a police officer, I'm fearless and I'm ready for battles. I've battled my whole life.
Well, that is what I find so refreshing about you, is that you're young, you're like early 30s?
33. Mm-hmm.
33, and you know that we need young leaders. We need more people to come forth to be able to lead and to govern on behalf of the people, of the interest of the people, and what the people really want. And I think that many people have become discouraged about the whole voting system.
Yes.
And so it's always refreshing when we see new people, young people coming to the table, and that's why you caught my attention as someone that we need to pay attention to.
Well, it's interesting. I was talking to one of my business partners, and you're looking at a lot of tech companies and companies around just Montgomery County, just United States. They have to evolve and they have to keep up. And generally, you're starting to see just older companies like H&P or IBM. Mm-hmm. They need young blood, because that young group generally has a different type of passion. They're usually more aggressive risk takers, millennials. Mm-hmm. In contrast, baby boomers, older crowd, generally wants to stick with the same tradition, the same setup, the mm-hmm. same structured approach, while it doesn't work because
times have
changed. And so that's why I think it's very imperative that I get elected, because we need change in Montgomery County. I think Montgomery County has all the ingredients, the infrastructure to be one of the wealthiest counties in the nation. A guy I was
absolutely.
I was working out the YMCA with a guy. He said that this county is so unique. It's 90 minutes from major interstates, where you can get across the country to a major interstate within 90 minutes from Dayton, Ohio. And if that's not a selling point, that we're so centralized mm-hmm. to get anywhere in America within 90 minutes on an interstate.
That is very true. But the other thing that I'd like to touch upon is this land, the ground here, Dayton, Ohio, Montgomery County is rich. The land, we just have to work the land. Yes. And that's why we don't have many people that I see today in office that are really working the land.
No. It seems as if
the land.
They're working within their party in terms of the overlaying of jobs or the same systematic approach to contracts. They're working for self-preservation.
Mm-hmm. Instead of on behalf of the people.
Exactly.
That's what they need to be working for.
Yes.
More with Jordan Wortham when we return. You're watching The William Pace Show. Stay with us. The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. Good evening, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. My guest is Jordan Wortham. He's running for Montgomery County Commission. Thank you so much for being on the program tonight. Now, we want to talk a little bit about the platform, your platform. Tell the viewers more about your platform and what you want to do for this county.
I want to be a game changer and go at things at a whole different approach. First of all, bureaucratic red tape, it's all over the place. I know just from county employees, me being a former City of Dayton employee, Trotwood employees, and Job and Family Services employees, there's so many overlay of so much red tape. It makes things so efficient, and it burdens the system. Recipients, it burdens recipients from getting benefits that they're entitled to.
Absolutely, because some people need the benefits not next year, but they need it this year. There doesn't seem to be any sort of urgency when it comes to helping people in need in Montgomery County. They have to wait for the help. And some people just unfortunately don't have time to wait.
No, unfortunately. Second, we need to go back to make this county more inclusive, more supporting of entrepreneurs' business development.
I love it.
Now, when I grew up back in the day, there was businesses everywhere, and I know friends that own properties, real estate, have investment businesses. They take their business out of Montgomery County for simplistic reasons. The taxes are too high for property taxes. There's too many regulations, and so
I have heard that
they go to Miami County and Warren County, where it's more lax. It's easier to own and operate a business. So I want to attract business investment and development. And I think with that being said, your population will grow. So people will not only just work here, they'll live here and they'll play here, because then you'll have more amenities, more entertainment if you have more business investment. And so we're lacking business investment, not just in Dayton, but Trotwood, even cities that were prospering. It's stalemate. And I'm not
very much so.
Yeah, I'm not going to let go of this county. It's got too much potential, and I love this county. And there's so much that we can accomplish, and I believe that we could be one of the wealthiest counties in the United States.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've always felt a robust economy is the heart of a land, the city. You know, one thing feeds off of another.
It does. And
so when it sort of broke my spirit because I was born in this land. My folks, came to this land, and I don't want to get my age out, but they came here and at a time, and because they had heard they came from rural Alabama and Forest, Mississippi, and they had heard that this Dayton, Ohio, you could get a job here. You could raise a family here. And they came up here. They met downtown at the movie theaters downtown when they had movie theaters downtown. So, that's what, and it was a bustling place here. And that's what I want to see. The way I see things now, it's not the way I remembered it. Right. Like downtown Dayton days. Remember that. And, you used to be able to hop the bus, go downtown, go to all the businesses and so forth. Everything, we didn't have to go to another county.
Right.
We had it all here.
And the biggest obstacle of this, it's a simple solution, but you have a segmented group of people who don't want change, and status quo is what they like. But young people, 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, where they didn't grow up in that vibrant economy, they're struggling. I mean, it's hard to find a job. They're looking at food prices, gas prices, inflation, and they're in Montgomery County looking at high rent, high property tax, and so they want change. And the biggest obstacle is that we band together and vote, because our voice is not necessarily heard. It's that population where status quo benefits them, and they want to keep that.
Well, no. You can only keep that if you serve the people.
Correct.
You don't get in there. It's only you can privileged to have if you've earned it and
Exactly.
you have served your constituents well.
And that bounces off my last platform. Last idea is have an open door policy. We need to have the system more efficient. I've spoken to so many employees, county employees, that's scared if they go in front of the commission or say something against the commission, they're going to lose their job. It shouldn't be that way. If I'm elected county commissioner, I would love for someone to come in front of me and tell me where I'm failing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that it's critique, but when you're older and you're more established, you see that as an attack, and it's my way or the highway. And so there's
is that dictatorship?
Yes, I would view it as that. So there's certain things that we could do is make simple investments, not only have an open door policy, but make things more efficient with computers, like I said, with the integrated software programs where you make things more integrated with child support, Medicaid processing. Their computers are very old. There's basic investments that we could do short term here in the county. Even their website, if you ever touched upon the website, Montgomery County is severely outdated. I mean, there's tabs. It's not user friendly. You can't see things. It's as if an older person created that. So in Montgomery County, Job and Family Services are very inefficient, and a lot of it has to do with there's too many overlay of policies within Montgomery County, and the technology is way too lapsed. And so what a lot of people will do is just blame Columbus. It's all Columbus. It's all Columbus, and it's not. A lot of it has to do with the management, the commission within Montgomery County in terms of that recipient working through the process of Job and Family Services.
It has to do with the leadership in the land.
That's correct.
That's what it has to deal with. Well, I understand that you scored well in the primary, and we want to talk more about that when we return. More with Jordan Wortham when we return. You're watching The William Pace Show. Stay with us. The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. Good evening, I'm William Pace, and thanks so much for tuning in to the William Pace Show. My guest this evening is Jordan Wortham. He's running for a Montgomery County Commission. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Before we went to break, we were talking about you scored well in the primary. What areas did you score well in?
I surely did. I did extremely well in the northern, southern cities, Huber Heights, Vandalia, Butler Township, Englewood, Clayton. I scored really good south, West Carrollton, Germantown, and Miamisburg, Washington Township. So I did extremely well. Farmersville and Brookville, I pretty much carried those entire cities.
Wonderful. So if there are listeners out there or potential volunteers who might want to support your campaign, volunteer, contribute, or work in the campaign in any way, how can they get in contact with you?
Sure, you go to jordanwortham.com. My name's on the screen. You can contact me and my committee. Leave a phone number or email. We'll call you or email you promptly within usually 2 business days.
That's great.
But I need all the help I can get. So people are contacting me on my website a lot to do a lot of volunteering. So any help would be a big help in terms of canvassing neighborhoods, small donations, telephone, yes, referrals.
Great. You know, the people in Montgomery County are getting older, and the day is dawning for new leadership in Montgomery County. So what would you say to the people on the eve of potential new leadership what would you say to them? Take a step of faith. You know, would you to get people to get, you know, because people are, as I've always said, holding on to all they know. But you can't get someone from, or I often say, God can't get you where He's trying to get you if you're holding on to all you know.
Exactly.
So you have to sort of let go of all you know in hopes for a better life.
Exactly.
So can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Definitely. I always ask people, do you want the same old when you're driving down Trotwood, Shiloh Springs, and businesses are decapitated or abandoned properties, buildings? When you're driving down West 3rd Street, what do you see? A bunch of drug trafficking, vacant businesses, bars. When you're driving down, going down 70 in Huber Heights, and you see it stalemate. When you're driving, even down Kettering, in these cities, they're just so stagnant. And what cities are hurt the most, they need the most help, but they don't really realize it. And that would be Trotwood, Dayton, and Harrison Township. Those cities had just been literally decimated. There was people growing from outward, from Dayton to these cities like Vandalia, Kettering, and they were growing and doing well. But now it's just the whole county is turning sour now. I mean, people are saying, well, hey, I want to buy a house. That's generally on social media and Facebook. Don't buy in Montgomery County. And that's what people are saying because it's not conducive. The taxes are too high and we can't compete.
So what I'm hearing you, if I'm correct, is you want to give people an incentive to be in this land, an incentive to help build this land. A motivation for wanting to build this land. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, absolutely. And I would be the perfect candidate. I know exactly within and without. I was fortunate enough to be a police officer and work into this government and see how inefficient and the overlays and the red tape and the waste of energy and the politics of kickbacks between, I'm not going to name any names, but between elected officials. And so...
Corruption, would you say?
Yeah, it's going to be corruption and abuse of power. So I worked the street. I was grunt level. I didn't work in office. And so when I was out in the street battling crime and engaging and serving the people, I really know what they're going through. I walked through those houses, down those alleys, into those businesses. And so it was the same message through all those different phenomenons. And all those people were saying the same thing. We have no voice.
Wow, that's big, because by you being in the trenches, out there with the people, you have some insight into the psychology of the people. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I have that insight that most people don't have. The only experience people have with the police is when they call them, or they'll see the marked cruiser, or they'll see the government officials during a city commission meeting talk, but they don't understand how corrupt. They don't understand the kickbacks that's going. My uncle always said the conversation that means the most is not the conversation you're having during a meeting, a commission meeting, county meeting. It's the conversation they're having in the parking lot. Those are two different conversations. It's like police officers. You listen to us and have a conversation, or chiefs. It's a whole different conversation than when they're in that locker room or they're in roll call. That's the conversation that people are not aware of, and I am.
So you have inside information about the goings on, the inner workings,
absolutely,
of the office. Well, we're almost out of time, but I want to take this opportunity for you to tell the viewers how you can help them have the best possible life here in Montgomery County.
Sure. I'm born and raised here as a fighter. My dad was a fighter. I'm a born fighter. I fought my whole life as a police officer. I went against the system. I fought the system. And so if I'm elected, I'm going to fight for you. I'm not bought out. I'm unbossed. I don't owe any strings or any attachments to any party. I'm a common sense businessman, former police officer, who just wants security, safety, businesses, entertainment, and growth. And so I definitely am the man for the job, and I'm not your typical politician, and I'm not here to be a politician. I'm here to fight, and I'm here to be blunt, and I'm here to bring it to the system, because too far we've been crushed. And the small guy, the middle, ordinary guy is unheard, and we're forgotten about. But I'm here to fight for you, and we won't be forgotten.
Thank you for being on the program tonight. Jordan Wortham for Montgomery County Commission. There's more to come on The William Pace Show. Stay with us.
The William Pace Show on CATV.
Good evening, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning in the show tonight. On our inspirational moment tonight, I thought I would take the lyrics from a song. Maybe I might sing the song for you in another show. But the lyrics are from the song called Look for a Silver Lining. Remember, when there's a cloud in the sky, the sun is shining somewhere. So the right thing to do is just to make the sun shine for you. Remember that a heart that's full of gladness and joy will always banish sadness and strife. So remember to always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life. Gotta go. I'll see you next time. Take care.
The William Pace Show on CATV.